An argument for free will is that you are the observer of your thoughts. So do you really choose what you think about? And I don't know how I'm supposed to argue about this without looking at a Christian aspect, but I'm going to try my best. So, one thing I can tell you is that although you don't have control over all of your thoughts, you have control of what those thoughts entail, like the context of the thoughts. Please stick with me. If you are a person who has been bullied and you have bad thoughts, um, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, I'm such a useless failure. Most times you don't have to be told that. You just have to be given one fat joke in order for those thoughts of unworthiness, which bring other sort of adjectives to the thoughts that you think. I hope you understand what I mean. Um, I have a sort of more extreme example. People who have schizophrenia always, most of the time, have negative hallucinations. Most of them also have negative delusions. Delusions of grandeur with schizophrenia, which is already a rare mental disorder, is very rare. So, but most disorders and most hallucinations are negative. But why is that? Because number one, our thoughts are habitual. If I am a person who is stuck in depression and I keep on having thoughts of unworthiness, I am unworthy, I am unworthy, I am unworthy. One day I'm gonna break. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna make my cup of coffee. I'm gonna look to my side and see a cockroach on the table telling me to end it all. But why? Where did that thought of telling me to end it all come from? Now you can say that for people who have schizophrenia, they have, nurture issues and also genetic issues. I'm not going to really talk about that, but you also have the fact that you are in a depressive state, and depression in itself is also another thing, but in the depressive state, and you also convince yourself of these things that I'm worthless, no one loves me, and you get a hallucination saying that I must end it all. I hope you understand what I mean. But that's why I Loki believe in affirmations, but not in the affirmations that like these weird manifesting earth girlies are doing. I believe in these sorts of affirmations saying that, turning a bad situation into a good one. It's why I think that one of the greatest mind shift changes a person can do, if they think negatively, if they're a negative thinker, if they think negatively about every situation. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a person who was very negative. Like, if one bad thing went wrong, I would say my life is over. I would like, my life is over. There's no way anything good can happen. But once I started practicing gratitude, which started like, it was kind of stupid to me in the beginning, over time, it changed the way I think. You know, not only that, but especially if your like the actions that lead to your thoughts have another action attached to it. For example, when I was feeling angry because something bad happened, one thing I would do is try to go outside. I'll try to go outside and look at the sky and say, you know what, whatever happens, at least the sky is still blue. Meaning that so many things can happen to me, but some things stay the same. You know, some things never remove the beauty out of the world. Basically, there is so many other things that's going on in this world rather than the temporary issues that I'm facing. I never really struggle with the same issues I was facing 2 months ago. But you know what is forever? The fact that the sky is blue. Unless there's like a nuclear bomb or something. But yeah, if you have a negative thought, for example, I have a bad test, and you want to start thinking I'm such a stupid person, such a failure, instead of thinking that, stop yourself, go outside, look at the sky, and think, wow, this sky is so beautiful. There is so much more to life than me failing a test. And I feel like that feeling of gratitude really just amplifies your thought pattern, because instead of just saying, well, you know what, there's better things to life, then instead of just after getting a test saying, well, there's better things to life than, or there's more to life than actually failing a test, you go outside, you give yourself visual cues, you give yourself, I guess, sensory cues to show that there is more to life. I feel like that is a almost accelerator in changing the way that you think. A lot of things in life, well, most things in life is a mindset issue. And if you're someone like me who, I guess not even someone like me, if you're a person who thinks, I'm not talking about people who think on an average, I'm talking about people who think a lot. People who notice things a lot, people who are more inclined to look at the things that are kind of weird in our system, people who are more inclined to see pattern recognition and think, wow, this is odd. People who kind of go against the grain. It is difficult to live in this world frustrated, but most people won't understand your frustrations. And sometimes you have to look for that ignorance. Sometimes you have to find your bliss. Because sadly, the with the fact that you have knowledge, you have lost your ignorance, and ignorance is bliss. So sometimes you have to find that bliss again, and that's something that I'm still trying to do. So that's something I have to remind myself of. Hopefully it'll just come automatically and become habitual, but for now I have to train my thoughts. I have to train my thoughts into thinking positively on a whim. I have to train my thoughts into not defaulting to the most, I guess, to the most easiest thing to default to. You know, I don't know if this sounds wild or crazy, because I felt like a lot of what I said sounds a bit crazy, but I do believe that there is almost a sort of, it's easier to go towards negative things because they're much easier for your brain to grasp than to go for positive things. And if your brain you have and your brain will obviously go for the easiest route possible, so you have to train yourself much more in order to default to the more positive things for you, because the things that take the most work sometimes are the best for you, you know. And it will take some time, it will take some effort, but in the long run you will thank yourself. And you know, I have been doing this for maybe 9 months, maybe 6 to 9 months, but it I can already see the improvement. I'm not there yet, but the improvement there is. I can already see an improvement in my thinking. Yeah, I still catch myself. I will probably catch myself again, but I am so much better than I was like a few months ago. Yeah, anyways, practice gratitude and God bless.